you doing? This is Pete, and what we're doing today on our Streetbeast, we're going to go ahead and install a wiper system. Now there's two types of wiper systems that I use. I use the specialty wiper system, and it's actually a dual system. It has two arms on it. And I also install, it's called a Mighty Wiper. This is the one that I recommend for these cars because, first of all, you probably will not be driving your car in the rain or the snow. This is very inexpensive. I believe it's about $45. It's a one-speed wiper motor, and it mounts up on the top here. Nice and convenient, just like the vintage antique cars that you see in real life. So it would actually mount under here. It's real simple and easy to put in. You drill a hole, you go ahead and mount it up in there. You might have to do a little bit of molding to your headliner setup, and then you buy the $20 switch, you hook it up, and there you go. But some people would rather prefer to have two wipers. If you're looking to save money and time, this is the way to go. This is what I recommend. It's very easy, economical, and easy to install. But the more difficult one would be the Mighty Wiper system, and that's a 3-speed motor with a delay. Okay, it comes with all your wiring. It has, and it runs off a cable system. Okay, and this is pretty difficult to install, and it has to be done properly. So what you get is you get your motor and all your cable. You get your delay switch, as you see, and it also has a washer button if you want to put a washer bottle on it, which I've really never installed one, but it's there anyway. You get all your wire harness with it, and you also get your arm linkage, okay? And you get your two knurls. Now, I've already taken the knurls off. That's the first thing that you want to do is remove the knurls. Keep filming, dude. Son of a bitch, don't. Oh, there it is. The first thing you want to do is remove the knurls, the wiper knurls. Remove those from the arm assembly. Now, before I put this in the car, I want to show you exactly what this does. And you do get detailed instructions. Okay, this is kind of a walkthrough video that I'm showing you. Okay, what happens if you watch real close when the cable's in there, you can see that the arm moves back and forth if the cameraman can get that. So what's going to happen is when we hook all this up, that motor is actually going to run that cable back and forth so the wiper will work. Now, the good thing about this wiper system, it has an automatic stop, and it'll always stop at the same spot. Whereas if you get the Mighty Wiper, you got to pretty much stop. It doesn't have an automatic stop, and you got to stop it manually where you want it to stop at. So the first thing that you want to do, if you come over here with the camera all the way around there, please. The first thing that you want to do is you want to find the center mark, if you can see where I marked, of your windshield. So we marked that in the center. Then what I did is I measured from the center to the end, and I found the center of that mark. And I drilled two holes out. If you look, this one here has already been installed. Now, in your instructions, it's going to tell you to put the rubber grommet on the outside. I don't like doing that because it actually makes it kind of tacky looking when it's all together, and the rubber will actually break and tear and rip. What I do, if you look in here now, what you want to do, if you look at this one's already been installed. I go ahead and I leave the rubber O-ring on the arm, and this is adjustable so you can get them both the same length. You slide it in the hole, you come back in the front, and you go ahead and install your arms. And make sure that these are on very snug and very tight. Not too tight that you're going to break them, but tight enough. I'm sure all of you out there know what tight is. And this is a good idea to do this while it's in primer. You don't want to install this while your car is painted in case you scratch it. Now, when you go to paint your car, you can actually remove these out of the car if you want to paint it, or you can leave them in, as long as you get rid of the marks that you made, because the paint will not stick to the marks. So, if you look in here, that's what you want to do. Then you take your dashboard assembly, and I've already done this and I already know that it fits. Me and Junior, my helper here, we've already put that in there and it slides down and there's enough room where it's not going to hit. So we know these are in the correct spot, and when you put your dash down it's low enough where everything's going to line up good. The next thing that you want to do is when you get your motor, and this is a very important step so the cable doesn't bind up. It's going to have a backing plate if you look right here. And it's going to be bolted to the back of the motor. Let me ask you a question. You have to visualize what you're doing here and what else is going to go in the car when you install this. So we're going to have our AC unit, our AC and heat unit in here, and all our AC lines are going to be coming down through here. So we want to make sure there's enough room for that, and we also need to get back in here, okay, to bolt our front end support beam on. So we got to make sure that we got enough room there. So these are made to bolt on, but I went ahead and I tack welded that, and I'll weld it on better than that. I just tacked it. You want this to be sitting at an angle, just like that. Now the reason for that is because this cable is going to come around, because you can't have it binding, it has to be in a loop. It's going to come around like that, it's going to go through here, and then go over to here. And you're probably saying to yourself, now we can't have that cable slopping around. Exactly. So what we got to do, once that housing, the kit that you buy is supplied, with 2 aluminum 3/8, 2 aluminum 3/8 tubes. Now that's very easy to bend. Okay, I'm going to bend a piece. You can see that I'm bending it with my finger. Okay, and it's made for this cable. Now you will need a flaring tool to install this item, because the ends have got to be flared out. If you look right here, you got your 2 grooves notched out in your drive motor plate, and what that is, when you slide that in there, because you loosen these 2 bolts, you're going to slide that in there, and that tip is going to be flared out, and it's going to fit in there and lock in place. So once you install your motor, just like you see here, and it comes with all the hardware, you will have to make a tube, just like you did for your gas lines and your brake lines, a tube that comes here and goes around over there. Make sure that it's in a big enough loop where it doesn't bind up. So let me get the tools, and I'm going to show you how to make those, and we'll get the motor mounted on there. And then the tricky part is when I take this off, I'll show you. You have to. There's a little arm in here with a wheel, and that has to be set. So both these arms stop at the same time and they go the same.